because showtime is here. So on with the show, let's give it a go. Karel is the one that you need to know. Now it's showtime.
Well, just like all of my technology today, Donald Trump is coming undone. We are going to talk about that and so much more. In fact, I've got to run out to the living room to make sure the internet is not going to give out. So here I go. We'll be right back.
Uncensored, unfiltered, unhinged. It's the Karel Cast. Listen daily on your favorite streaming service.
Don't fear, I'm here. It is the Karel Cast. I am Karel. It almost wasn't the Karel Cast today. I have to be very honest with you. You know, what is it? I thought about this yesterday, okay? As we talk about Trump unraveling. Technology was supposed to make our lives simpler, supposed to make less paperwork, just supposed to make it easier. And this is why I'm not afraid of AI. How many of you think technology has actually made our lives easier? For instance, if I have to enter one more code that gets emailed or sent to me on my phone when you try to log into a website, because these mofos can't keep your data safe, so you log in with your username and your password, and then it says, oh, we have to two-step verify you. We need to send you a code. You know, you get a one-time code, and then you get into the code. How many of you spend more time entering codes, doing all this, and you just want to do a simple task? You're like, I just want to check my account balance. I don't want to have to check a code and enter a code and all this other crap. How many of you? I'm serious. It drives me friggin' crazy. You know, just now, before the show today, I was trying to get the Sonos in the bathroom working, so when I showered, I could hear Emily Sande. First world problem, I know, but every time the internet goes out, which has been in and out for days here in Vegas because it rains and people don't know what to do, and every time the internet goes out, the Sonos Roam, never buy a Sonos Roam, ever. They're the worst piece of trash around, worse than Trupanion pet insurance. But every time that the internet goes down, all 5 of my other Sonoses reconnect and it's all grand. The Sonos Roam, have to add it like it's brand new again. I just want to hear music in my bathroom. And the same with this show. I set the show up through Telecast, Wirestream. It's called Wirecast by Telestream. I have my cameras, my lights, and I plug everything in, and almost every day it all works exactly the same. And then some days I come in and let's say the laptop has suddenly installed new software and I go to boot it up and it takes 15 minutes to boot it up because it's done its thing. You know, just stuff. Technology does not make our life easier. In fact, in many ways, it makes it more freaking complicated. That's why I am not afraid of AI because, you know, we can't even get regular technology right yet. All right. So glad that you are here today, Sandy. Donnell Beatty, you're new in the chat room. You work in IT. I have a whole list of codes, the hokey pokey and backflips for it to work. It's so true. Oh my God. It's so true. It's like, do you want me to stand on my head? What do you want? I just want to get into this website. This morning, what was I doing this morning? I was trying to buy something, actually. Was I trying to buy something? I forget what I was trying to do. But by the time it wanted me to do all this various reauthorization, this and that, I just said, fuck it, I'm out of here. They lost me as a customer. I said, I'm not doing all this again. I'm not going to input this again like it was all brand new. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that again. You've lost me. I'm out. You know, I mean, it is ridiculous now. And half of this that we have to go through is because these morons can't keep our data safe. And so they make you go through all these hoops because they can't keep your data safe. My data has been breached more times than Melania Trump. Sorry. But truly, I mean, you know, my data's out there. Data. So anyway, I didn't mean to start on a rant, but I'm done with, everything nowadays. Enter this code, enter that code, and now Apple, your password's been, used too many times. Do you want to change it on 214 websites? No, I don't. You can feel free to do that. And if you can't automate that, then forget it. Then I'm compromised, honey. It's how many of you go through this? I'm curious, Donnell Beatty, who are you? You've never been in my chat room before. I don't know who you are. You're not a Patreon subscriber. I like when I see new people. Sandy, good morning. Ray Renati, good morning. Sorry I'm late. When we come back, the unraveling of a president. I mean, this man is going batshit crazy. He's just going off on people. This man's losing it.
If you're not visiting reallykarel.com daily, you're missing out. Get the podcast videos and the blog, including recipes, at reallykarel.com. That's really KAREL.com.
Showtime is here, no time to fear. Karel is so near because showtime is here. So on with the show, let's give it a go. Karel is the one that you need to know.
No, John, I disagree. John in the chat room at youtube.com/reallykarel said, Karel blamed the hackers. They're very good, and that's why two-factor authorization is needed. No, it is not my duty to keep my data safe. If you require me at a website to input any kind of data that's personal, a phone number, an address, whatever, then it's up to you as the company to keep my data safe. Making me go through a two-step authorization is not the way to keep my data safe. They need to do a frickin' better job. But because they can't, they make it on you. And I can't tell you how many times a day I get text messages, this is your code for this is your code for that, and it's not me. I'm not trying to log into anything. I don't have an account with that company. Someone has input the wrong phone number. And then I'm freaking out. Oh, is someone using my name? Is someone doing this? And now I don't even freak out anymore. I just delete it. Because I don't know if it's a scam. Because now they'll scam you with those codes. Oh, you've received this code because you're trying to log into here. If this isn't you, click here. And then you click there because it wasn't you. And they ask for information. And now they've got your data. Sweet baby Jesus. Sweet baby Jesus. Use my freaking face. This is 2025. Why doesn't every computer have biometrics? Every single one. Mac used to do it. You used to be able to do Face ID on a Mac. Now my MacBook Pro right here, it's got thumbprint. So whenever I want to log into a website, I don't have to use two-factor. I use my thumbprint. They used to do that on a... Why don't we do that? Use my face, use my thumb, use my penis. I don't care. I'm not using it for anything. Just come on. Oh, sweet Jesus. Who's Dale Mervin? Who are all these new people in my chat room? Donnell Beatty? Dale Mervin? I've never seen you. Welcome. Hi, everybody. Wow. One word, biometrics. I'm there with you. I'm with you, Dale. Dale, from your mouth to the gods of data's ears, scan my fucking retina. Okay? I hear that it's unique, that, there's no two retinas alike. Scan my retina. Scan my fingerprint. Scan my ass. I don't care what you scan. Scan my cornhole. I don't care. I saw a sign yesterday at a pub, and it said darts, bowling, cornhole. And I thought, whoa, wait a minute. That's a progressive pub. I mean, what are they doing with your cornhole up in there? Cornholio. Anyway, yes. I guess word's getting around about the show. Hit the like button then. But yes, biometrics. That is the way. The only true way to keep your data safe is tie it to your frickin' body. Now, we've all seen those horror shows where they pluck out your eye so they can scan a retina, or they chop off your finger so they can use it. And, okay, yes, I saw it in Dexter. He chopped off someone's fingers so he could get into the, okay, yeah, I know. But come on, I'd rather take the risk of someone chopping off my finger or plucking out my eye than every time I go to a website, I got to scan this, get this code, stand on my head, go outside in the rain, roll around in the grass, come back inside, and shake 3 times. sweet baby Jesus on the little cross of Mary. All right. Cornholio. Cornhole is like throwing a bag in a hole. Oh, I'm sure it is. I'm good. Is that what you call that? Okay. People, cornhole is your asshole. I don't care what you call it. If you're throwing a bag in a hole and calling it cornhole, then it's like you're throwing a bag in an asshole, because that's what a cornhole is. Such a cornhole. Cornholio. I've played it. It's a fun game. Oh, I'm sure it is. I don't know why that's so funny to me, but it is. Let's go play some cornhole. I would never, as a grown gay man, ever say. I just would never. Let's go play some cornhole. A game of horseshoes. A game of cornhole. All right. Okay. I'm sorry. Throw a bag through a hole. Is that like throwing a hammer in an empty garage? Because I know some queens like that, honey. Oh, I'm a power bottom. Does that mean it's like throwing a hammer in an empty garage? Anyway, I'm sweating now. You all got me sweating up in here. Talking about my biggest pet peeve. Fucking two-factor author. Just scan my eye. Scan my thumb. Scan my belly. Scan my belly button. There's got to be something unique you can scan. Child. Went and got my stitches out yesterday for my cancer on my back, which all the cancer is gone. They wanted me to buy some silicone gel for $63. I said, I don't need fake boobs. I got plenty of boobs. And they're like, no, it's for your scar. It's to lessen the scar. I said, dude, it's on my back. What the fuck do I ain't that gay. I don't care. Have a scar. And then he said, well, just go to Amazon. And I said, why? He goes, it was $20 on Amazon. I said, so you all know that I can get it for $20 on Amazon, but you still try to sell it for $60. Someone ought to throw a bag in their cornhole. All right, what a show. Can we get this show back on? Can we get it back into, get back to politics, get back to current events, get out of the cornholes, and stop with the two-factor authorization? Yes, I agree. Biometrics. I'm there. I am there. I'm ready. I love my MacBook Pro. I love that I can use my finger for my cornhole. I love that you can just, when you're logging in, my Apple Watch lets me log in, with things. I can just touch it but Jesus Christ, they're going to have like 5-factor authorization. Okay, we've sent you a code. Now enter the code. Okay, I did. Okay, now we want you to look outside and tell us the temperature. We have detected the temperature in your area. So please go out. Tell us how hot it is. What is your shoe size? That's like when you got to, okay, look, if we're going to go down this road, that's like when someone calls you on the phone from some place, some credit card company or whatever. They have called you. And then they ask you 18 questions to verify who the hell you are. Could I have your date of birth, your social security number? Could I have your street address, your mailing address? Could I have your shoe size and waist size? How big is your schlong? I mean, really, they ask you like everything. And then if you verify with them and they have to transfer you, they're like, we need to verify you. No, I already been verified. Oh, well, that was with the other department. Bitch! You called me to tell me something. And now, oh, I hate that. Yeah, use dick pics. I'm with you, Dennis. I'm with you. Just use dick pics. If you're a woman, use nipple, labia or nipples. What areola as your secondary, login. Oh, look where we are. Look what we have gotten down to. Act your age, mama, and not your shoe size. Surely we can. That's a Prince song. I would win on Name That Tune. I would win. I can name that tune in half a note. I would win. All right, Donald Trump, much like this show, he's unraveling. Yesterday, he said to someone, quiet, Piggy. And no one in the fucking media called that fat, bloated, orange piece of shit. Yeah, we're cussing today. On him calling a female reporter Piggy. Nobody. No reporter said, excuse me, President Trump, Do you think it's appropriate to call an accredited female member of the press a pig when you are standing there bloated, orange, overweight, probably with a piss bag tied to your leg? Do you think that's appropriate, sir? Just like in the Oval Office when an ABC News reporter did her job and asked a question that was on my mind, which is, why are you sitting next to a guy that our own CIA says killed a journalist? And instead of answering the question, he told the reporter how horrible she was and then said, well, no one really liked that reporter and, things happened. He justified the murder of a member of the press while sucking the dick of the Saudi prince next to him. He might as well have been on his knees with his head up under the robe. We're going there today, children. If you have a sense, a sort of a sensibility about you, today's show may not be for you. So there he sat, first berating an ABC reporter, then calling another reporter Piggy. Someone ought to smack the shit out of that man. If he ain't going to act presidential, why is he treated like a president? The office of president only deserves respect if the person occupying it is respectful. The media should freeze him out. That would kill him. Every member of the media should leave the press pool. They should do press briefings to nobody. That blonde witch should stand there in front of 3 bloggers and an influencer. All real media, and this includes News Nation, Fox News, all of them, should stop covering Donald Trump. He is a disrespectful, unraveling, out of his mind, arrogant asshole. And I don't need him in my life. I don't need them to report on his every move anymore. I don't care what he does until he drops dead. The next headline I want to read is the big, beautiful obituary. That's what I want to read. He is a horrible human being, calling a woman Piggy. Well, calling anybody Piggy. By the way, Miss Piggy is far better and more famous than Donald Trump and had much more staying power. But he is unraveling. I know the show is off the hook today, isn't it? It is off the hook. Yeah, things happen. People didn't like Mr. Khashoggi. Reporters get their throat slit, then get dismembered and their bodies spread out all over Turkey. Things happen. The guy next to me had nothing to do with it. Really? Because your own CIA and your own FBI said that he did order the killing. So now you're insulting the American intelligence divisions of your government, which said this bearded man in a dress caused this to happen. And now you're discrediting them, insulting a reporter, and for what? So you can get some Saudi dick? Come on. Saudi men are cute, but I wouldn't go that far. Isn't it weird the most homophobic men in the world are some of the hottest? Some of the Saudi men. Not the crown prince, but some of the Saudi men. Oh, turn me over and call me cornhole. Anyway, so he's unraveling. He's yelling at reporters, insulting them, calling them Piggy, and that has resonated around the world. There are headlines across the globe. And everyone's saying, why should we be surprised? 200 times a day, he does something that's reprehensible. And yet, that particular incident, pointing in that woman's face, quiet, Piggy. Oh, God bless Gavin Newsom. God bless him. He superimposed a pig nose on Donald Trump and posted it online and said, shut up or quiet, Piggy. Oh, yeah. God bless Gavin Newsom. So, anyway. We're off the chain today. Why not be in a good mood? Why not be frivolous? Why not, we are living in some dark times. Dark. It is dark out there, children. Why did you think of me when you saw the prince on TV? Because I said that some Saudi men are attractive. They are. Some Saudi men, they are hot. Oh, my God. And there are gay Saudis. I know that's an oxymoron, like compassionate conservative, gay, Christian, jumbo shrimp. But yeah, there are some gay Saudis. Did you hear the Obamas didn't go into Dick Cheney's funeral? Good. I know that he had a change of heart later in life, literally had a heart transplant. But I don't care. That man was responsible for illegal wars, for the death of Americans. He shot his friend in the face. He was homophobic up until he wasn't. Dick Cheney is as close to a prince of Satan than anyone I know. And there's a special place down in hell for him. So, good riddance. Goodbye. He didn't just drop dead, so I can dance on his grave now. No more ding dong, the witch is dead the same day as they die. People don't like that. But now that he's been gone for a few minutes, fuck Dick Cheney. Okay? With Donald Trump's small little peenie. You know, I mean, just who cares? I hope no one goes. I hope his funeral has, like I said, 4 influencers. It's like the Hollywood Reporter had Ben Shapiro on a panel. Oh, and they were all feeling for him when he said he had to have security 24/7 for him and his children because he gets all these death threats. If you didn't talk like a fucking lunatic all the time, maybe you wouldn't get death threats. If you didn't say women should be this and men should be that and gays should be this and trans should be that, maybe, just maybe, if you had a little compassion and empathy towards other human beings, you know, maybe if you didn't say shit that was so absurd that it was a threat to our country, you wouldn't need security 24/7. Me. No. All right. This is Karel Cast, and I am Karel, and we are off the chain today. Here's the chain. Here's us. So, you know.
Patreon is the way to show you care. Subscribe today if you dare. Keep the show on there. Patreon is the way. Now it's showtime.
Sorry, Miss Ember was licking. I just had to stop her. I don't know how long she's been doing it. Don't be doing that. I'll get you a Cyto point shot if you need. Do you need a Cyto point shot? We'll go tomorrow and get you one. Okay. All right. Donnell Beatty, I don't know who you are, but he said so Trump can call someone, you know, Piggy, but they can't call him Orange Cankles. I'm laughing a lot today about orange cankles. That kills me. It sounds like something you'd get at a Jewish deli. I'll have the orange cankles, please. Do those come with sauce of any kind? Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But yeah, Ben Shapiro needing security, and suddenly we're supposed to feel bad for him. Look, I would not shoot Charlie Kirk. I wouldn't shoot anybody unless they were trying to kill me or Ember. And I don't condone anybody shooting anybody unless they're literally trying to kill you. So I don't condone what happened to Charlie Kirk. I don't, because guess what? I'm a liberal and a progressive, and we don't advocate violence, unlike what the ridiculous, stupid idiots at MAGA say. Democrats are not violent. We are not political killers. We do, and even Ben Shapiro said that on his panel. Well, there tends to be more political violence from one side than the other. And no one stopped him and said, yes, from your side. 94% of all mass shooters subscribe to your ideology, you fuck. But anyway, so I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought there because I would have smacked. Oh, but so Charlie Kirk. I don't condone what happened to Charlie Kirk, and his wife is moving through the 5 stages of grief: podcasting, grifting, going, dating JD Vance, you know, the 5 stages. But I'm not surprised that he got shot saying what he says. Bill Maher says he will not do stand-up now because he's afraid of getting shot from the left and the right. That shows what a fucktard he is. Bill Maher has smoked way too much cannabis. You know, and I find that hard to say since I'm a big pro-cannabis user and take 2 edibles every night for sleep. But the man has lost his mind if he thinks the left is going to shoot him because of what he says. That's not what we do. We just won't go to his show. We won't watch his HBO show. We won't shoot him. That's what the right does. That's what MAGA does. That's what they've condoned. Donald Trump himself has condoned eradicating and eliminating his enemies. So the notion that Bill Maher won't tour because he's afraid of the left and right just shows his brain's a little addled. But Charlie Kirk, and what is with all these men online now? There's like this movement of men on Instagram talking about, why can't a woman just be a woman, stay home? And I think the guy actually said shit out babies. He said that. She doesn't need to work. She doesn't need to read. She just needs to stay home, make my meals, shit out babies. She'll have a great life. Oh, yeah, I can see why. This guy was cute, but I bet he's single as hell because, I can see why women would be so attracted to that. Stay home and shit out babies. He said this on Instagram. But there's this whole movement now of young men who follow this Andrew Tate guy and who think women they want to repeal women's right to vote. And even people like J.D. Vance have suggested that perhaps women should just let the men take care. Women, in Saudi Arabia, I have always said, why don't women wake up in the middle of the night and kill all of the men? I mean, they're oppressed. They make them wear these burqas. They won't let them drive. They won't let them do this. They won't let them do that. There's more women than men. Why don't the women just one morning wake up and do in their husbands? And the same with these incels or whatever they are that are out there saying, women shouldn't have the right to vote. And women, if I were you, I would shut down the pussy. I wouldn't let a man in there until they let you have legal abortion because you got the power. Straight women, when it comes to straight men, you have all the power. You know how you shut up a straight guy, women? When you're in an argument with a straight guy and you want him to just shut up? Do this. Just lift your shirt and show your boobs. He'll shut right up. Straight men can't handle boobs. They lose all the blood in their face. They can't even think. You want to shut up a straight guy? Just lift your shirt up. Women, you have the power over the one thing they want more than anything, the kitty cat. You got the power of the kitty cat. Turn it off. Every woman in America should say, guess what, men? You aren't getting laid until abortion is legal again. At all. Hookers, stop working. Strippers, stop stripping. Women, stop fucking. You have all the power right there between your legs because that's all a man wants. That's all a straight guy wants. He doesn't want to talk to you. He doesn't want to be your friend. Most straight men don't even like women, as is evidenced by Donald Trump, by J.D. Vance, by Ben Shapiro, by Charlie Kirk. Most of them don't even like women. So you got all the power. Turn off the kitty until you get what you want. You'll get it in a week. Truly. Just turn it off. No boobs, no kitty, until you give us what we want. You've got the power. I've never understood that. Outdoor venues are inherently more dangerous. Bill Maher works indoors. Oh, I know. I don't know why. I don't understand. What are my thoughts on Marjorie Taylor Greene, Meredith Dannenberg asks? I think that she has bigger political aspirations. I think that she got with a team. I believe Marjorie Taylor Greene has hired a crisis PR team. I fully believe this. And I think they sat with her and said, what are your goals? I think she has presidential or vice presidential political aspirations. I do. And I think they said, well, then you're not going to get it this way. You're going to have to do this. I don't believe for a moment she's ever believed anything she has said. I don't. I think like everyone else in MAGA, she is an opportunist. And so they said you need to soften, you need to align yourself more with women, and you need to stop all this crazy space laser, drinking water making you trans and all of that. And so I think, and it's my belief, that Marjorie Taylor Greene is being counseled by crisis PR managers who are telling her, you got to do a softening tour. Go do shows you never would think of doing before. Go do The View. Go do The Daily Show. Go do Stephen Colbert. I really believe she has a crisis PR team handling her because she wants to rehab her image because she has greater political aspirations. Because that's all she's about. She doesn't stand for anything because she often stands for nothing. We'll be back with part 2 of the Karel cast. I'll see if I can get it together, if I can.
It's broadcasting from a completely different point of view. Yours. Listen daily to the Karel cast on your favorite streaming service.
Showtime is here, no time to fear. Karel is so near because showtime is here. So on with the show, let's give it a go. Karel is the one that you need to know. Now it's showtime.
I am Karel. We are here at the Cornhole World Championship where many people are lining up to throw a bag through a little tight hole. Who will get the bag through the hole? I want to work for ESPN just to do that.
Uncensored, unfiltered, unhinged. It's the Karel Cast. Listen daily on your favorite streaming service.
All right. It is the Karel Cast. I am Karel, part two. Today is my final doctor visit of my whole annual physical thing that I do in November. That's why you've heard a lot about doctors this month, because it's November, and the month of my birth is when I go and get all my stuff. Today is a pulmonologist, which I've never seen, and I'm scared. I have to be honest with you all, I'm scared. My pulse oxygen during the day sometimes dips down to 93, 92. It's not supposed to. And during the night, it's often just between 90 and 95 because I have mild sleep apnea and they gave me a dental appliance, and it used to go down to 85, 86, 87 at night. So now it's not doing that. It's staying above 90, but it's still low. I don't want to have oxygen. I don't, all of that. Plus, I don't want to have anything wrong with my lungs. If you are a person that smokes and you have children, please don't smoke around them. I know that sounds, but if I do have a lung issue, it's because for the first, at least 13, 14 years of my life, I was in a house with two smokers and in a car with two smokers with the windows up. And, secondhand smoke causes things, and I don't want anything. I don't want lung cancer. I had an x-ray. They didn't see anything, but they say a CT is the... Anyway, so I just jogged up hills at Desert Breeze Park. I don't gasp for air when I jog up hills. As you can tell, I speak to you without being Brenda Vaccaro. So, and when I do the SpO2 meter that I bought, that you blow through, I'm 114% of a man my age. You're supposed to be able to blow 545, and I blow 620, 630, 670. So I don't know what they're going to say, but I don't want more tests. I hope they don't sign me up for more tests, but I do want to know why during the day when I'm just sitting around, it'll go down to 93 or 94. It'll go back up to 97, 98, 96. But, anything above 95 and you're golden. So I don't know. But I'm scared. This is the one appointment I'm actually afraid about. Because one day, I'm old. I'm 63. And one day they're going to say, oh, you've got XYZ. Because no one gets out of this life alive. So I'm just a little scared. I just putting that out there. Maybe that's why I'm a little gregarious today. Maybe that's my self-defense mechanism for being really terrified. But God bless Ember. This morning I started crying at the park because there she was sitting at the bottom of the hill with her perfect posture, looking up at me, running up and down the hill. And I thought to myself, she rides my motorcycle in the bag, sitting up. Ember rides on the motorcycle sitting up for 10 years, sitting up. She throws her front legs over the bag and she sits up and she wears goggles and she's the most adorable thing in the world. She's been to every doctor's appointment with me. So when it gets scary or when I get alone or feel alone because I'm sitting there waiting for lab results, when I went in for the cancer surgery and they were telling me about the cancer and all of that, there she is. There she is right there. My little girl just looking at me, making sure my heart's beating normally. And when I went in the hospital in April for AFib in the ICU, which was terrifying because it's the ICU, and my heart was beating 200 beats a minute irregularly, 212, 205, 193, 204, 207, 182. And I've got 5 IVs going in me, literally 5 bottles of things going into me to try to make my heart beat. And it's nighttime and there's nobody there. And you hear all these other people suffering and it's just me and I can't sleep because I didn't have my pod edibles. And there she was. There she was to hold and to love. Oh, see, I can't. She has been the most important part of my life for a decade. she saw me through moving from Long Beach to here, just me and her on our own in a new city. She has been there through every event, every show. She's right here next to me. She's seen every show since she was 6 weeks old. I used to put her on the desk in a dog container, the dog bed, because I didn't want her to go away when I was at Park Howard and I was on the air. I didn't want her to go get into trouble, so I'd put her on the desk with me. I'm sorry. I didn't mean. I just love her so much. And I love all my dogs, all of them that are passed away. Owen, Attila, my Pippa who got ran over. Mojo, Angel, who was my mother's, saw my mother through so much. Just all of them. Owen, Kiki Poo, Freckles, my dog in high school. I've loved so many fabulous dogs, but none of them have been Ember. She is the most special little girl I have ever had the pleasure of loving.
If you're not
And
visiting
she's 10.
ReallyCarel.com daily, you're missing out. Get the podcast videos and the blog, including recipes, at ReallyCarel.com. That's really KAREL.com.
Showtime is here, no time to fear. Karel is so near because showtime is here. So on with the show, let's give it a go. Karel is the one that you need to know.
Oh, okay. As Bette Midler would say, now we have to fucking clear our heads. Sorry, I got emotional. She just turned 10, and so I realized that, but it's like Jane Fonda said, I want to talk about Trump and his unraveling. I do. But it's like Jane Fonda was talking on a podcast, and she said she looks at her life in 3 acts, not 4. She looks at it in 3: 0 to 30, 30 to 60, and 60 to 90. Now she's in her 80s now. And she talked about when she turned 60, and I'm just 63. And she talked about when she turned 60 that she's not afraid of dying, but she's afraid of dying with regrets. And that hit me hard, people, because fearing death, I think we all have a healthy fear of death, but really fearing it, you're not going to know. Once you die, you're not going to feel regret or pain or anything. You're gone. So you can't go, oh, I'm dead. What's going to happen to my dog? No, you won't know. You're gone. It's like when you get a colonoscopy. That really taught me a lesson. I'm talking to the doctors, and then they give me the propofol, and I'm gone. And then the next thing you know, I'm waking up in recovery. But had I died during the colonoscopy, I wouldn't have known. I'm gone. I was out. So that's what death is like. You close your eyes, and that's it. There's nothing else. So Jane Fonda saying that she doesn't want to die with regrets, that touched me because that is my thing. And I never really vocalized it. I never really solidified it. But that is what I am most afraid of. Dying undone. Feeling like I haven't done what I was supposed to do while I'm here. Now look, next week on the Music Week chart, which is the Billboard of the UK, on the Music Week chart, Club Play chart, the song that I wrote for Thea Austin, We're Not Going Back, is going to be number 4. Number 4. I have written a top 5 dance hit. That is something that that's a bucket list thing, okay? Now, it's not making me rich, but still, I can now say I have written a song that has been in the top 5 on music charts. That's something. But I haven't made a movie. And if I die without making a film, it will be a huge regret. So I really got to get on that. I know I'm 62 and got a turkey waddle and all that. What about you? See, life 0 to 30 was being young and gay and drugged and dancing and just, the whole gay thing. It was the 80s and, Madonna. And then life 30 through 60 was Andrew, KFI, KGO, making great friends, traveling the fucking world all over the place. But now 60 to 90, I've been sort of floundering, like I haven't found my groove. And hearing Jane Fonda talk about how her life is 0 to 30, 30 to 60, 60 to 90, I thought to myself, that's right. You've got about if you're lucky, 28 more years, 27 more years. And of those, they're not all going to be productive. And that's why the show has changed. That's why I'm more up and more, because you know what? This is it. This is it. This is the final act. From now until I die, that's it. It's the final act. And I don't like final acts that are bad or depressing. I hear that Wicked Part 2 is, not as good as Part 1. And I could have told you that because in the play, Act 2 is not as good as Act 1. So I want this third and final act to be wonderful. And so I'm going to have to make some changes. Find a new place to live. I want more friends. I want more gay friends. I want gay men in my life. I want, I want more. What about you? What about you? Most of you listening are over 40 years old. Many of you are over 60. What do you want this final act to be? That's why I'm now looking at Donald Trump with, I don't want to say humor. He is dangerous. And as far as I'm concerned, he is a modern Hitler. And I'm not being facetious. I'm not being sensational. I've done the history. I've read the books. I've watched the movies. The man's a modern day Hitler. But he's unraveling, unlike Hitler. Trump is unraveling. He is yelling at people. He is desperate. And he's suffering defeat after defeat. First, the Democrats won. He's meeting with Mandami. And he has to. Mandami won. The Democrats won that election, not just in New York, across the country. He just lost in Texas, where the court said, no, you can't redistrict. So now the Democrats might pick up 3 seats because of California. So he's lost there. When the shutdown was happening, he was screaming, get rid of the filibuster, get rid of the filibuster, get rid of the filibuster. They didn't. They did not pay attention to him. So he lost there. And the Epstein files, he did everything he could to stop them from being released, and he still has. He's launched an active investigation, which means they won't release them now because of the investigation. Wait and see. But still, he lost that battle. His party turned on him, and if he hadn't said vote to release them, then guess what? They were going to do it anyway. And so he's losing, like a lot. And he can't take it. And I hope with every ounce of fiber in me, the stress kills him. And I know that's the wrong thing to say, but, he doesn't eat right. He doesn't exercise. He's got cankles. His legs aren't returning the blood to the rest of his body. There's speculation that he has dementia and that he wears a urine thing, a catheter. The man is not well. And stress at his age, not good. He's 80. So it is my hope that nature just does its thing. Because to me, he is evil. He is an evil human being. He has caused the death of people around the globe from cutting aid, cutting AIDS funding, cutting AIDS medications, cutting the foreign aid services that feed people, house people. He has literally caused people to go hungry in this country. He allowed the shutdown to go on where SNAP people didn't get their benefits, and he was content to just let it go on. The man is evil in the core. And so watching him unravel is delightful. But now people need to start standing up. When he calls a reporter Piggy, other reporters need to step forward and say, that is inappropriate, sir. People need to stop bowing down to this guy like he's the almighty Jesus. He ain't. He's an orange imposter. And he's unraveling. He is unraveling. Thank you for the congratulations, Donal Beatty. Thank you. Yes, number 4. I'm straight. I like women more than men. Well, that's what being straight is. Did you need to say that for some reason? Who is it? Is it R2D2? Oh, I have a Star Wars mask right behind me. An original Darth Vader mask from the movie. From the first movie. I have it. Of course you like women more than men. You're straight. Well, no, that's not true. Most straight men do not like women. So you're an exception. And women will tell you that. Straight men don't want to hang out with women. They're always off with their friends or out in the garage or over here or over there. 80% of straight men do not hang out with women. And they're at the gym. They're, at the car races. They're not hanging out with their wives. The wives have their friends. The husbands has their friends. That's so many relationships are that way. Why? Because most straight men don't like women. I'm just saying. Anyway, Now some do, and if you're in the chat room there, R2D2, and you're one of those, then good for you. And you can tell when you meet those straight guys, the ones that really love women. The ones that really love women are secure with themselves, first of all. They're not threatened by gay people, by women, by anything. They're secure in themselves. And then they're open enough to share with the woman. And they are genuinely interested in what women are interested in. They want to be a part of their lives. They don't want a woman to augment them or be a arm candy or anything. They genuinely want that person as a partner. They're interested in what they do. A real man that loves a woman would take a back seat to a woman. Let her excel. Let her be the one out front. Not many straight men have that ability. And I don't think any MAGA men do. I really don't. They all see women as something to be subjugated. Or they would let them have control of their own bodies. That's the ultimate test. Do you love women enough to let them control their own bodies? MAGA does not. Republicans do not. I do. Some straight guys do, but not many. So yeah. So Trump is unraveling. He's just coming undone, coming unglued, and he's losing a lot, and he can't really stand it. He's just losing. And look at the Epstein files. It's like, why, we ask why he doesn't want those to come out. I think it's because he's all over them, but we'll never, ever know, will we? George W. Bush and Liz Cheney gave the eulogies at Dick Cheney's funeral. It is going on right now. Bush, Biden, and former vice presidents honor Dick Cheney. I can't believe Biden went. Does he bump into things? Donald Trump and J.D. Vance did not go to Dick Cheney's funeral. See how just how horrible they are? First of all, Dick Cheney's of their party. Okay? He's a member of the GOP. Second of all, seated presidents go to the funerals of former vice presidents, even if they didn't like them. They go. It's part of being a head of state. But he doesn't take his duties seriously. Dick Cheney didn't like Donald Trump, so Donald Trump won't go to his funeral because Donald Trump doesn't know what it means to be a frickin' president. How sad. He wasn't invited to the Cheney's memorial service, by the way, just so you know. I'm sure Dick Cheney made it clear. I don't want him here. I don't want him here. For those of you looking for the deal on Black Friday, Las Vegas casinos are going to do 50% off, by the way. I just saw that in the news, and I saw it yesterday, which makes them, it takes them down from hugely unaffordable to just mildly unaffordable. The DOJ case against Comey faces trouble. Yup. Isn't lying about an indictment like a federal offense? Did this lawyer that Trump just grabbed off the street, an insurance lawyer who never had tried a criminal case, and he put this person in charge because they would do his will, didn't they commit a felony? Maybe. Lindsay Halligan? She didn't show the final indictment to the grand jury before they voted on it. Isn't that, illegal? I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, but I would think. Zelensky has agreed to negotiate on Trump's peace plan for the Ukraine, but he won't give up any territory, so it might be a moot point. Representative Sheila Cherfius McCormick of Florida charged with stealing FEMA money, using it for her campaign, the DOJ says. That's pretty low. Let me just... I think Trump has embezzled all of it. I don't think they could pay the SNAP benefits back when the judge told them to, because I think they took the money. I really, truly do. I don't know about y'all, but I truly, truly do. Let's see. Wouldn't that make him bi if he likes women more than men? No. Anyway. No, we won't. No, they'll classify everything incriminating. Oh, I agree, Dale. In the chat room at youtube.com/reallykarel, I fully agree. I will never see the documents. They're going to say there's an ongoing investigation. They're going to redact a lot of the names, or they'll just classify them and say it's a matter of national security. We're never going to see them, ever. Maybe if Democrats win in the midterms and then win the presidency, maybe a Democrat will make them all available. But there's as many Democrats in there as there are Republicans. Men are pigs. Notice who's not being named? Women. No women use Jeffrey Epstein. No lesbians use Jeffrey Epstein. No women, nothing. Women, they're not as doggish as most men, even women in power. Now look, if I were Cher, yeah, I'd be screwing a 30-year-old. If I had money right now, I'd have a 35-year-old boyfriend. If I had a lot of money, I'd pay Baby Stickley whatever he wanted to go on a date with me. He's on Instagram. You could go see him. He's only 21. But oh my God, he's one of the most handsome men I've ever seen in my life. If I had money, I'd give him $1 million to come and spend the weekend with me. But it would be consensual. I wouldn't be dealing in trafficked humans. Only men tend to deal in sex trafficking. Now, there's been a few women in power, Ghislaine Maxwell,
Patreon is the way to show you care. Subscribe today if you dare. Keep the show on there. Patreon is the way. Now it's showtime.
Yeah, I'm a little cougar, not cougar, cougar. I am a little cougar. If a 25-year-old fell deeply in love with me and wanted to be with me, I wouldn't stop him. I'm going to close with something horrible. It's horrible. I didn't want to talk about it today because nothing's going to be done about it. And I hate complaining about shit that nothing's going to be done about. Donald Trump on Truth Social has reposted people's posts calling for the death of lawmakers who made statements saying, if you are in the military, you took a pledge to the Constitution and not to Donald Trump, and therefore you should not obey any illegal orders. That goes without saying, but they said it. If you are in the military, your fidelity is not to the commander-in-chief. It is to the Constitution, because his fidelity is supposed to be to the Constitution. And if he gives illegal orders that directly contradict the Constitution or go against Congress or are just illegal, like attacking other Americans, which go against the Constitution, these lawmakers said, you should not obey those orders. And so he has reposted people's comments saying those lawmakers should be hung, tried for treason, shot, which is rich coming from a party that actually did an insurrection, a party of traitors and treasonous people led by the biggest traitor and treasonous person around. But when I saw he did this, I thought Congress needs to act. A seated president is posting things that call for the death of other lawmakers. When are they going to impeach this motherfucker? When? What does he have to do before they finally say enough is enough? He is now calling for the death of lawmakers who disagree with him. Congress does nothing. So I wasn't even going to talk about it because it makes me mad and I don't want to just sit here and be mad. And I know that nothing's going to be done about it. It's just another absurd thing that this unraveling president, and that's proof that he's unraveling. No other, George W. Bush was horrible, but wasn't this bad. Ronald Reagan was a despot, but wasn't this bad? In my lifetime, I have seen many a Republican president, but they weren't this. And Congress, they have no testicular fortitude at all. And the GOP should be eradicated as a party. Any party that allows its leader to do these things is not a credible political party. When are we going to acknowledge the GOP is not a credible political party but has become a cult? When? When are we going to say it's a cult? Because it is. It is. Oh, Lord. So people in the chat room, they're talking about the Jane Fonda thing and about what they want, in the last part of their life. And I think that's a good note to end on. Jane Fonda said 0 to 30, 30 to 60, 60 to 90. If you're in the 60 to 90 part, start thinking about how you could go without regret. What could you do that would make it so if you were to die tomorrow, you wouldn't have as many regrets? And then do those things. Start regret-proofing your old age. That's going to mean forgiveness, forgiving some people, forgiving yourself. Forgive yourself. You've made mistakes. You haven't been perfect. Forgive yourself. Give yourself the same grace you would give somebody else. Even if you've done horrible things, which we all have. Not as horrible as Donald Trump, but so long as you haven't done anything, like murdered somebody. And even then, the Menendez brothers had to forgive themselves. They did. So forgive yourself. Forgive yourself, forgive others, and move forward without regret. All right, I'll be back on Monday. I am Karel. Be who you want to be. So don't hurt anybody. Next week is Thanksgiving. I, of course, will not be here Thursday or Friday of next week. I'm hoping Steve will go with me to Crossroads Kitchen. I'm going to try to make reservations today. There may not even be any, so that may be a moot point. But I'm going to try. And I hope that you're going to be planning something, even if it's a Swanson TV dinner while watching Twilight Zone repeats. Whatever makes you happy, I want you to do it. I want you to be happy next week on Thanksgiving. I am thankful for you. I am thankful for food, for lodging, for my pensions, for my Patreon supporters. I am thankful for the ability to get up and walk and do exercise, and I'm thankful for Ember. I am thankful for so many things. I am thankful that I still have choices, that I could sell my condo and choose to leave the United States. I am so grateful that I still have the ability to choose what I eat for lunch. So I'm thankful, very thankful. And next Thursday, I'll be just as thankful for you, for your support, for you coming here every day and chatting with me. Very grateful. Gratitude fills my heart every day. Every time I see Ember play ball, gratitude fills my heart that she still can. So I hope next week you count the blessings and not the horrors, because there's enough horrors. You don't even have to count them. They just come at you every day, like Trump posting things about killing political opponents. But there's also blessings. There's so many. And the fact that we can share time together, that's a blessing. It is a blessing, and I will never, ever take it for granted. So just know that. Know that you fill my heart, and that being here fills my heart, that I'm grateful for every cent you guys contribute, every patron, every person that just donates $50 through PayPal or whatever, for people like Randy Radar or James Schnabel or Rachel Capper, all these people that have sent me who was it that sent me a birthday card with a $100 bill inside? I was so thrilled. So next week, let's make all of next week about gratitude. Next week, I'm going to try to make the shows about gratitude. I am Karel. You be who you want to be, so long as it doesn't hurt anybody. Go play some cornhole. Go find a cornhole and throw a bag in it. Just make sure you know the person.
It's broadcasting from a completely different point of view. Yours. Listen daily to the Karel Cast on your favorite streaming service.
Showtime is here, and no time to